Hello. So I want to talk about my trip to London now, which was about a week and a half ago, and it was a fun trip, but there was some stressful moments, I will admit. But overall, I had a really good time. So why don't I talk about some of the stuff that I remember? And I've written some key points down. Okay, so let me start from the beginning. Uh, my flight was at 8:45 or 8:55 on Wednesday morning, right? And uh, I guess I slept straight through my alarm. I woke up because Celia, my friend over here, she like buzzed me at 7, so I overslept. I felt really bad. We booked it. I swear, we booked it all the way to Central Station. Took the train to the airport. I mean, we couldn't have gotten there any faster. And then we end up having to go through customs, which is weird because I only thought customs was when you enter a country, but apparently for the United Kingdom, you have to go to customs when you leave a country, which is weird. And of course, we end up on the slowest line. So we end up going through customs, and then it says that our gate is 16 minutes away from where we are, but our flight leaves in 14 minutes. So, and we still have to go through security. But I simply refuse to miss this flight. So I willed us through security and ran in public, which is something I never do. I hate public running, but I did it for in this case. Um, and we got to the terminal or the gate when it said it was going to take 16 minutes. We did that in 6 minutes. So that was crazy. We got there on time. In fact, we got there, and then once we got there, I was like, why are they taking so long? They should open the doors and let us on the plane already. So uh, that was tense. But we made the trip. We made the flight. We get there, and we check into our hostel, which is really, really nice place. Probably the best hostel that I've stayed at so far this semester. And then me and Celia just decided we were gonna walk around and see what we can see. No real agenda, just uh, just walking around like true tourists. So we went to Parliament. We went to Big Ben on the metro, and we saw all that great stuff. We saw Big Ben, which is connected to Parliament or the Palace of Westminster, and then all around that area is Westminster Abbey. And then we walked down. We saw Downing Street, which is where the Prime Minister lives. We went through Piccadilly Circus, got some Pizza Hut because we really haven't had pizza since we've been in Europe, and we were craving it. And we saw the Duke of York statue, which is what New York is named after, which is really cool. And then we walked through Chinatown, and it, I mean, we walked through the shopping district, but to be honest, it felt like the whole entire city was the shopping district. It felt like never ending, all these pricey, posh stores. And I don't know if that was just a neighborhood, it's just a really, really huge neighborhood, or if that's the whole city. But everyone was well dressed. It just seemed, everyone was seemed cultured. Everyone seemed rich, uh, which is a pretty good environment to be in, to be honest. Then we met up with Brooke, uh, my bestie from school, and she's studying in London. So me and Celia went up to meet with her, and we got some dinner at a pub, and I got the traditional fish and chips. Chips would be English for French fries, which would be English for American for frites, which is what I call them here. So we got fish and frites, and I realized that English cuisine is mostly fried food, lots of fried food. Everything's fried, which for me is fine. I love fried food. I'm a very unhealthy eater, but for people with sensitive stomachs, it can be a problem. So I had to I gobbled up the whole entire fish and chips, and then I actually had another fish and chips the next day, and I had to finish Celia's too because it was just too oily for her. But like a champ, I had one and a half fish and chips. It was awesome. So then the next morning, me and Celia knew we wanted to do this free walking tour at 11 a.m., right? So we set our alarms for 9 a.m. We wake up at 9, we shower, we get breakfast, and we leave. We'll get to the meeting spot, which was at the Wellington Arch, just in time. So we set our alarm for 9, we wake up at 9, and we get ready. And we're about to leave. We're chilling for about 10 minutes before we leave, and I notice a clock, and it says it's 8:50. What's going on? And then I realized that neither of us changed our clocks, our alarms for daylight savings. So we woke up an hour early for no reason, which was really, really stupid of us. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go take a nap for another hour. And I proceeded to pass out. Well, that 1 hour turned into 3 hours. So when I woke up, we had missed the first walking tour. Fortunately for us, there was another walking tour at 1 a.m. and actually we woke up from our naps just in time to make that. So no harm, no foul. But it was a pretty hilarious moment when we realized that we woke up too early. We go on the walking tour, and it was a great walking tour, one of the best ones I've ever been on. The tour guide was extremely knowledgeable, and she took us to some of the places that we saw the day before, but to all the basically all the spots you want to see when you're a tourist. Wellington Arch. Then we went to Buckingham Palace. Then we went to Trafalgar Square. We hit up some. Then we went to Westminster Abbey. And then a lot of awesome places in between. But our tour guide, told us a lot of crazy stories in between. Like this one time, about 30 years ago, an Irishman was able to actually break into Buckingham Palace and somehow got past the security guard, the one security guard that was working in the middle of the night, and ended up in the Queen's room. So he had like a private conversation with the Queen for about 10 minutes before she was able to alert security. I thought it was a really interesting story. And then the second part of the tour that I really liked was when the tour guide was talking about King Henry VIII and his many, many wives. He had 6 wives. And she went through all of his wives. And really enjoyed that because last year I took a History of England course, and that was at the end of the semester, and it was probably my favorite part of the whole course. So I actually knew what the tour guide was talking about before she even said anything. So I find that stuff really interesting. And in case you're wondering, the order is divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. That's what happened to his 6 wives. But moving on, we went back to the hostel, took a power nap, and then we met up again with Brooke, and this time Joanna, who also is studying in London, and we went to this awesome kebab place. You'll notice a trend. Kebab is huge in Europe. Like every city that I've been to, I've had it. It's everywhere. So we went to another kebab place, and then we went back to Brooke's flat, which was awesome. She's got great digs. And then we just chilled there and drank for a bit. Ryan, who's studying in Madrid, actually was flying in that night from Madrid to visit for the weekend. So We ended up waiting for him, but then there was a delay with his flight or something. I can't even remember, but he didn't even get in until 1. By that point, Brooke really didn't want to go out. Me and Celia were kind of tired too. So we actually just like stayed in, drank, talked, caught up. It was really fun. And then then the next morning happened, which was just terrible, terrible, terrible. Uh, the flight was at 10 something. No, I'm sorry. The flight was at 12 something, right? So we woke up on time. There was no time issues. We got ready on time. We left on time. We took all the metros we needed to take, and then we get to Luton, which is one of the 6 different airports that London has. And I'm looking at the departure board, and I can't find the Amsterdam flight, and I'm thinking to myself, why isn't the Amsterdam flight there? So I go to the EasyJet representative, and I ask, I'm sorry, I'm looking for the Amsterdam flight. Why isn't it up there? And she just deadpans. There is no Amsterdam flight at this airport. The Amsterdam flight is at Stansted, which is another one of the London airports. And at this point, the shit hit the fan because I had led us to the wrong airport for no reason. There actually was no reason for me to think that we were going to Luton, but for some reason, I just was sure that we were going to Luton, and I led us there. I didn't even check confirm the booking, or anything. I just led us to the wrong airport, and because you have to take a train. All the airports are like half an hour, 45 minutes outside of London. So I had to take a train back into London City, then take another 45-minute train to a different airport in the other direction. It was a shit show. So we didn't end up making the flight, which really, really pissed me off because I had to pay $50 or 50 euro to get on the next flight, and I felt bad for Celia because I led her to the wrong one for no reason. It was just bad. I was really stressed out. We end up getting on the next flight at 4 something. The flight was fine. It was smooth, but I still felt really bad that we had missed it. So it was a very stressful start and an extremely stressful end. But in the middle of it and the actual time spent in London was really, really nice. Very low key, just walking around. Oh man, I froze again, didn't I? Very low key, just walking around, and it was really nice. There's a lot of cool places to see, a lot of different monuments and touristy places, and I had a great time, especially seeing Brooke and Joanna and catching up with them. And I definitely see a lot of New York and London. Actually, I think that they're really, really closely related, and I like that. It's a very international city, extremely diverse, which I really like. And more so than New York, I feel it's just very proper, very rich. I may not have been in the right areas, but from the areas that I was in, it is. It's a classy city, so I will recommend it to anyone. It's the second time I've been to London, and I'm definitely going to go back again and again. It's a really cool place, and there are a lot of really cool things to see. So that was my London trip. It was fun, and I'll talk to you guys later about my other trips. Thank you.